Good morning, everyone. Well, not such a good morning, but it's morning, at least here in the West Coast. Wanted to talk to everybody about what happened last night in Vegas and what you should do in your community. So I'm going to wait till a few people get in here. I know a lot of you will probably watch after the fact since I just surprised you and went live, but obviously talk about hitting close to home. Very close. Live about 13 minutes, 12 minutes from where it happened last night. And as most of you know, since so many people have reached out, I go to a lot of concerts. And, the funny thing is, a lot of people said, glad you don't like country. Well, side story, I do like country. It was my first concert, Charlie Daniels, and the headliner last night, Jason Aldean, I love. But just, this concert last night in Vegas wasn't on our docket to do, and on the couch. So last night, my wife and I were watching last week's Dancing with the Stars, and it ended. And when I deleted out the TV, when I hit the live TV button, the news was on, and the event had just happened. And of course, we watched it unfold. Now, most of you on the East Coast, you were probably long asleep, but we watched it unfold, and we sat up till about 2 a.m. Our neighbors, who we love dearly, came over to sit with us, and our neighbor Kelly probably should have been at that concert. She went last year with her girlfriends. All her girlfriends went this year. They asked her to go, but her husband Ken had the day off, and he never has Sundays off. So somewhere in the universe, it gave Ken the day off, and she was able. She decided to stay home, family day, and because of that, more than likely, she's okay. She's okay today because of that. Last night, a couple of her friends that she would have been with posted pictures. One was shot in the leg. One was shot in the shoulder. They're both alive, though. And we just found out that her babysitter's boyfriend was one of the ones killed last night. And I just saw him 5 days ago. He was babysitting with his girlfriend, and he had just brought food in, and I waved at him, and he waved at me. And so although him and I aren't friends, it hit very close to home. Obviously, being babysitter's boyfriend. So, when things like this happen, we all have emotions and thoughts and, what we should do, what should be done, what shouldn't have been done, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not talking deep about things like that. But what I do want people to do, when we have tragedies, natural disasters like the last line of storms and communities get ruined, the best thing to do to help out is to donate money. Donate money to Puerto Rico or the Florida Keys or any place that's been, just structurally wiped off the map. But in this case, for a community, there's no money needed. Obviously, there are people who have passed that, might need help with funeral services and such, but our community does not need money. But what it does need is blood. There were over 400 patients last night taken to every single hospital in the Las Vegas Valley. We have friends who were already on duty as nurses and doctors, and then some who got called in. And Stacy and I were going to go donate blood today as soon as we're done working. But the outpouring of the community giving blood is so big, they have to turn people away today. Blood banks had 150 people lined up at each one before they even opened today. So we're going to make an appointment to go later in the week. So what I want to implore you all to do is to go out there and donate blood, because you never know when something's going to happen in your community. And you might think, hey, Jay, you live in a big city, shit happens in Las Vegas and New York City. But, I grew up in a small, idyllic little country bumpkin town, the east side of Cleveland. Town square, gazebo, town clock. It looks like it's straight out of Back to the Future. Roads that aren't paved to this day. So country. And, unfortunately, over the last 20 years, from Columbine till now, my little podunk high school was one of the schools that got shot up by someone. And so I would never think my little town would be one of those that, had a tragedy like this. It wasn't on this scale, but you never know when something is going to happen in your town, in your community, in your neck of the woods. And so the best thing to do, and you should on a normal basis, is get out there and give some blood. I know some of you don't like needles. Oddly enough, although I'm covered in a lot of tattoos, I'm not a big fan of needles either. Actually, I can't watch when I get a tattoo, and when I have blood taken or drawn at a hospital, I don't watch. I know, I'm a big wuss. I totally get that. And you know what's weird about this weekend and what happened last night is, you know, Facebook gives you, hey, Jason, a year ago you were doing this. Well, a year ago I was getting this tattoo. Have not had a tattoo since then. In the state of Nevada, you cannot give blood until at least 1 year has passed since your last tattoo. So as of yesterday, I could give blood for the first time in a long time because I kept getting tattoos. I couldn't give blood, and I was already planning on it. So pre last night, I was planning on giving blood before, because I'm ready to get back in the chair and get some more ink on me. But I figured before that I would give some blood. So definitely doing it this week now for sure. But every one of you today, tomorrow, sometime this week should go give blood. You should anyway, but this just shows you how important it is. 400 patients from death to, you know, mildly injured showed up at hospitals all over our city last night, and they needed a lot of blood. And so luckily today, everyone showed up in droves to give blood, but it shouldn't take a tragedy to get out there and give blood. So do me a favor, do your fellow citizens a favor, and go give blood sometime this week. It's not a hard thing to do. And, you know, and look, I mean, you might not believe me, I don't like needles. When I got this tattoo, I passed out twice, like out cold. So yeah, I don't do so well with them, which is odd for a person with a lot of tattoos, but I'm going to go do it. You should go do it. You never know when your blood's going to help save someone's life. So get out there and do it. So I see some political chat in the feed for this little video right now. I got feelings. I haven't had before, but we ain't talking about that right now. We are not talking about that. We're talking about the lives lost, the lives injured, the lives changed forever. My city's changed forever. So I'm happy to hop into discussions on that tomorrow. But today, we will take care of those that have fallen. So let's keep that at bay for today. I see others already chattering about it. I get it. I get when something tragic happens, you want to, you know, lash out where lashing out should happen. But I think today I'm going to just leave my opinions on the situation that led us to this point out of it, and let's do some good. So let's not focus on the negativity, although that's easy to do, and that's just the way our lives are nowadays. We focus on the negativity, but let's focus on the positive. Let's focus on the people that rescued people last night. Let's focus on strangers who picked people up last night. Let's focus on all those people standing in line waiting to get blood today, because that's what we should be focusing on, the good in humankind, not the bad. We got plenty of time to talk about the bad, and it will be discussed ad nauseum in the media and the news on Facebook, everywhere. But today, let's focus on what we can do as a community to help. So let's focus on that, please. So Vince, I'm going to throw you off my chat in about 2 seconds. So you either knock it off, Vince, or I'm going to send you packing, because I told you that's not what we're talking about today. Okay. Bye, Vince. Yep. I told you I wouldn't deal with that. And if you got nothing better to do, Vince, you're one of the problems. You're not going to see this now because you're blocked, but you're one of the problems. So let's get back to talking about what we can do. I want all of you to get out there today and give blood, because in your community, unless you're here in Vegas, in your community, you are not having a tragedy. There's not going to be this super duper long line. It needs to be done, because you don't know when you're the next Sharon, you're the next Las Vegas, you're the next New York City. You don't know. You know, we've seen some tragedies in Europe in the last couple of days too. And so anytime there is blood loss, there is blood needed. So You know, this is not something I've ever stood up and said, we have to go do this. And I have done it in the past, but we need to do it today. We need to do it today, and we need to do it now, because unfortunately in today's day, in the world we live in, this could happen to you, could happen to your neighbor, could happen to your community. So do it now of your community. All you got to do is give blood. You give blood, you get a couple cookies, a little bit of orange juice, and you're on your way. And you kind of get that little high feeling. You're like, we've had a couple too many drinks. This way you get it and you did something good. You didn't have to spend no money. And you get a free cookie and some orange juice. So go do it. Please go do it. Do it today. Let me know you did it. And, you know, it was very touching to me last night that so many people reach out, because y'all know I love going to concerts. I'm a concert junkie. I've been to over 2,000 in my life. And so many of you reach out. Some of you I don't even really have never had any conversations with. I just got a message through eBay from a fan of Thrift Hunters, a TV show, who asked if I was okay, because, again, just my public persona, people know I love concerts. And very touching that, and it unfortunately had to happen in a time of tragedy, but it was so nice to have everyone reach out. And I said, I expect it from family and friends, but to get it from almost complete strangers is really touching. And you know, I'm thankful that people cared if I was at that concert or not, because, you know, and any other week, you know, last week I was in Utah for 4 days. So had I not been, had someone say, hey, I had some free tickets, I really like Jason Aldean, I probably would have went. And so, you know, luckily I bought a truck. Luckily that truck came with a free day at a truck school. Luckily I took 4 days to also source. Luckily I was tired when I got home and just wanted to lay on the couch. And, you know, luckily my neighbor's husband didn't have to work. You know, just sometimes the world works in mysterious ways and it keeps you safe. And, you know, this week it kept me safe, kept my neighbor safe, kept my wife safe, you know. So it's weird how the universe works. It's it just doesn't make sense sometimes. None of this makes any sense, really, obviously. And from what I've seen and heard about the shooter, it makes really no sense. So I don't know. It's weird. It's a bizarre day. I still in shock. You know, life does have to move on. You know, it is a tragedy. We can't just stop working. We can't stop existing, and we can't live in fear. It sucks. This world is a hot mess right now. You know, both sets of our parents were concerned when we went to Europe, and, you know, I've always been of the mindset that when it's your time, it's your time. And if you live in fear, thinking that your time's around the corner all day long, you ain't living life. And so if I happen to go out at a concert in a blaze of glory, my glory, not his, so be it. But I'm not going to live my life in fear. I will not change my life because of, you know, some assholes. And I implore you to do the same. You can never, ever assume and protect yourself from something like that. Like, I was at a concert many years ago at Tenacious D. If you don't know who Tenacious D is, it is Jack Black and Kyle Glass. They are two comedians who also happen to have an acoustic rock group. So not something you would expect tragedy at. And standing next to me, two dudes got into a fight and one dude stabbed the other dude. Now, A, how did dude get a knife into a concert? But B, he could have missed that guy and stabbed me. Could never plan for that. So short of sitting in your house in a corner sucking your thumb, you should still live life. And you just can't be afraid of your own shadow. It sucks. It sucks that we got to even deal with shit like this, but it's the truth. It's the way it is nowadays, but I'm not going to change how I live my life. I got a Las Vegas eBay meetup tomorrow night. I hope people still come. We're going to learn about CDs. You know, I have plans with friends this week to do a few things. I'm still going to do those things with my friends. I'm still going to get out and teach people about eBay. I'm still going to live my life, but I'm also going to help out when I can. And this week, helping out is giving blood. But yeah, Bailey says, great. I agree with you about living life in fear, but I'm more aware of my surroundings. Oh, yeah. You know, and luckily, you know, sometimes being as big of a guy as I am is a detriment, like when I have to get things off a bottom shelf, but also it is a positive, more often a detriment, that all my life I've always been aware of my surroundings. And when we're out and about and I'm with friends, because I'm the biggest dude in the room and usually one of the tallest, I can see everything. I always keep an eye on everybody. So when something goes awry near a friend or a family member or my wife, I'm there in a second. So I always have kept my eyes open, and I will continue to keep my eyes open. I will not go into situations blindly, but I will not stop living my life because of some assholes. But yeah, so we're safe, but we want to help our community, and you need to help yours because it'll happen. It can happen. It shouldn't happen, but it can and it will, and it sucks. But it's it's what you do after the fact. If you hide, and look, if you're the kind of person to hide and sit in the corner because of this, I get it. I ain't mad at you. But if you can get up and get out and go donate blood and help out in your community, these are the things you need to do, because those of us who are good human beings need to take care of the rest of us who are good human beings. And sometimes not everyone can get out and about. So those of us who are able-bodied that have a vehicle that can drive down to the local blood bank should. And I will, as soon as they have, Stacy's going to book us some appointments. So as soon as those appointments open up this week, we will be there giving blood. I wanted to do it today and then wait till I did it to post and implore you to do it. But since I can't do it today because there's so many people in my community that are doing it, I figured I'd just talk to you right now and get you out there. Yeah, Roberta said it's great. One donation can save 3 lives. Blood is the only product that cannot be man-made. Please donate. Deb said, Jason, you're easy to spot at a concert because your height spotted you at the Brooklyn Bowl right away. Yeah, probably not time to tell a funny story, but you're right. And I was at a concert outside, another outdoor concert here in Vegas, but one on the west side of town. And I was sitting down, so I wasn't even standing up. I was sitting down, and my cousin, who I had not seen in 20 years, the last time my cousin saw me, I had hair, no beard, no glasses. He texted me and said, hey, cuz, enjoying the concert? And I just looked around at the thousands of people around me in the bleachers, and I'm like, how do you even notice me? I'm sitting down. So, yes, I do stand out like a sore thumb in a crowd, and, yeah, I would be an easy target for a gunman. But luckily, I wasn't at that concert last night. I did see videos of, like you all have seen, of the tragedy from the grounds. And I got to tell you, I enjoy a good cocktail, I enjoy a good beer at a concert, but man, you should have your wits about you. Sophia and I watched some dipshits stand up while the gunfire was spraying, beer in hand, and the dude was giving the finger, but standing straight up. Like, how drunk are you that there is no instinct to save your own life? That is crazy to me. So if nothing else, too, the next concert you go to, if you're one to have way too many beers or too many cocktails, maybe dial it back 1 or 2, because that happens. You should have enough wits about you to get down, take cover, run for shelter, find something large to hide behind, not stand up and give the gunman a finger. You just gave him a target. Like, some people can't even save their own lives. It's crazy. So, I wish most of my videos are much more fun than this and or educational. This isn't one of them today. I will have some shows this week, but I just had to turn on YouTube and get people motivated. Just because you live in a small corner of North Dakota doesn't mean it can't happen in your small corner of North Dakota. So when you have a second today or tomorrow or Wednesday or just sometime this week, get in there, give blood. Especially if you are a rare type, because of course the rare types are the harder to find. So make sure that and don't let that stop you. Whatever blood type you are, get out there, but make sure you're really getting out there on a normal basis if you're rare, and you can really be of extra help. Yeah, Christine, who's watching, said her son survived Sandy Hook. Yeah. I didn't have any people directly affected me from the shooting in my high school 10 years ago, but I had friends my age whose kids were in that school, whose friends got killed, and so in that 2 degrees of separation, I had friends whose kids had to go through a lot of trauma because of that. And so you never know. You never know when your community is going to need you, and it could be the storms in southern Florida. Many people were killed. Many people were injured. They need blood too. So don't just think of it as a time to give blood when there's a tragedy like a shooting. Anytime. Blood helps all the time. So, yeah. And yes, Piece 3601 brings up a good point. The media is running the loops of footage endlessly. And that's the other thing about this day and age. Everyone was taking video. Now, Jason Aldean, if you don't know, is a popular country artist. He won Artist of the Year at the CMAs, or one of them. And so there's a lot of footage. Now, the only good thing about that, or the really good thing about that, is it helps the police, because they were asking last night for all the footage. So last night, as they were showing one of the clips of the gunfire from the crowd, my neighbor, the husband who had the day off, who's a fireman, is also in the military. And even though it was just a quick second, he said, hey, pause that, back up a little bit. He could see the gunfire out of the window at Mandalay Bay. So he knew exactly where it's coming from. I never would have noticed that, but his trained eye noticed that real quick. So with millions of people using their phones for selfies and videos, and at the concerts, this is one of those rare times when it was really good to have footage, especially if it was a bigger deal than just one person, because a lot of false reports came out last night. There was multiple shooters, multiple locations. But if there was, all this video would help piece it all together. So if you ever are in this situation and you happen to be shooting video, make sure you get it to the authorities, because they'll piece it all together and they'll build the scenario. Whereas they used to have to just interview people, now they can see it all. They could see that scenario happen from a bazillion angles from last night, from all the footage. So yeah, you're going to see it on the news all day today, but it also will help in tragic situations like this. So keep that in mind. And I do know there's a couple GoFundMes for the victims and stuff like that. If you want to donate, please do. But everyone, you don't even need $1 to do it. Everyone can give blood. Just go do it. Go do it. Please go do it. Oh, man. All right. Monday mornings are usually like, oh, what did we sell? Let's ship. Let's get to listing. Let's check in on messages. Let's see what's happening in my Facebook groups on who sold what over the weekend, who needs help. It's a different Monday. My city will be changed forever. How we move around the city will probably be changed forever. Outdoor concerts may be a thing of the past, especially when they're right in line from a tall location like Mandalay Bay. Who knows? Not that concerts are important to life, but things are going to change. It's going to be a different city, like New York was, like my hometown was. Things will change. So I'm around all day. I will get some sleep at some point because I didn't get really any last night. Thank you all who have reached out to me. I do appreciate that. It means a lot that you thought of me and cared to reach out. To those who may have known anyone who was lost in this tragedy, my condolences. Those who have had friends injured, I'm sending good juju their way for quick healing. And everyone around that hears my voice, and please share this video. Please share my message. Go give blood today, tomorrow, this week. Just do it. You'll be saving 3 lives when you do it. Get over the fear of needles. I will. I'll tell you what, I'll even look at the needle going to my arm today, and I usually don't, and I can't. I am a big wuss. When I got my first tattoo, my big one, I told the guy I'm a wuss, and he kind of laughed. And then when I passed out and I came to, and I looked at him and went, I told you I'm a big wuss when it comes to needles. So do it. Get it done. Thank you for all checking in. Thank you for all the concern. And, make sure that you are, all your friends and family in Las Vegas are accounted for. And, if there's anything I can do to help, if you've got any questions about Vegas, if I can answer it, I will be happy to answer it. So other than that, I hope you all can have a decent week, and I will see you around the interwebs. All right. Try and have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.